Hey, it's Jeff with ID10T Garage, and we're back out here working on the 71 Torino GT. And this week, we're really going to focus on sealing it up some more. We've got our brushable seam sealer, so we're going to go over all of the things in the actual floor. Anywhere I weld, I tend to seam seal because I am just making sure nothing can leak through. I'm trying to prevent as much rust as possible. So I like to coat everything that where I've created holes at one point and welded, and go ahead and sure that up. So we're going to take care of that. We're going to work on our door striker, and I'm going to show you how to remove that a little bit. And on top of that, we're also going to patch up the passenger side rear wheel well. It's rotted out a little bit, and that's one of the final spots that we really got to kind of get welded together and patched up. And then our interior is pretty much done. As far as coating and everything goes. I mean, be more paint, but that's about it. So let's get to it.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the game that we say.
Alright, back to work as always. We've got our Eastwood brushable seam sealer here. And I basically am going to have to get out under here and where our firewall and cowl meet. I want to get a good brush of seam sealer all through there because there's always going to be cracks and little holes. And from the factory, they had a big line of seam sealer there. So I'm going to seam seal all that. Seam seal anything I've welded. So on these floors, anywhere I've welded, the spot welds, I'll seam seal all that. Especially where things overlap. I want to make sure we try to prevent any moisture we can from getting in between those welds. So inside the whole car is going to get some seam sealer in it. Plus we'll go ahead and go on the outside where we've painted and get the seam sealer there. Especially on those kick panel areas. So this is what we're about to do. Let's get to it. Alright, I ran out of brushes so I couldn't get everything done, but we got seam sealer on all our welds to make sure we got everything, especially where the overlaps are, all sealed up. Did this on both sides. I might overdo it just a little bit, but that's pretty par for the course for me. We got it all along the firewall, all along our kick panels on both sides. Where the toe board meets the floor pan, we've got that, and all our other welding and stuff done. So I need to get more brushes, so I do need to do some more welding on that side. So I actually need to do some wheel weld repair over there, and then there's a spot on the rear torque box that I need to weld a spot in. So I didn't get there, but on this side I got it sealed in real good. But pretty much, I think that's all I can really do for the night at this point. Just because, with this gunk there, it needs to dry now. And then we'll recoat all of this with some rust encapsulator. I might just go over it with Rust-Oleum in general. But we'll coat over this, make sure there's paint on top of the seam sealer. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're going to work on our door striker. On the driver's side, it is frozen in place. So I'm going to show you how to get a stubborn door striker out. So let's get to it. Now we gotta let this cool down before we can do anything, because otherwise I'm gonna burn the fuck out of myself. But that's what you do when you have stubborn latches that won't come off. You torch them. If WD-40 doesn't work, and you use the proper size bit size, it makes a big difference. But yeah, that was stubborn. Hey everybody, we're back out here in the garage, about to get to work. So I'm inside the car, and what I'm about to work on is this right here. I don't know if you can see it. There's a big hole in the inner wheel well. So I've got this right here that I'm going to use to patch it. So I've got basically, I'm going to have to jack up the car, take the wheel off, and you know, put it on a freaking stand. That way we can get that cut out and then fit our new piece. So it's actually a Mustang wheel housing. I think it's actually the outer wheel housing, but it's got the right curvature, so I should be able to use that to make my patch. So that's what we're about to do, so let's get to it. Alright, so I've got it pretty well fitted here. Granted, this is all rotted, so I'm going to have to replace a flat piece here as well to really cover this up. And this will bend back down and go back over this. But let me show you the inside. So yeah, as you can see, I got it pretty well fit. This little gap right here will be covered when we fold that piece back down. But we got it kind of tight in here, curved in here, and this is where that flat piece has to go. So that was just some more rot, and we'll fix that as well. But that's a lot better than what we had, so we just need to weld it in now. All right, we got our inner patch all, tack welded in place. And as you can see, I started cutting away a little bit of this rot here that I'll have to, I gotta cut a little more of this away, clean it all up, and then form a, for the most part, flat piece that'll go in here, and I can cover all this stuff up. So, but I'm just trying to decide how far I want to go, because eventually I'm gonna do some repairs on these quarters. So, and it's kind of rotted out there, so I don't want to go too in depth in here. I don't want to weld anything onto the actual quarter, so I might just seam seal that up at some point and just weld to the structure itself. So we'll see what I do. Probably about to take a break, but let me show you guys the inside. That inside piece looks really good. As you can see, I got some good spot welds in there and good welds in general. Now I can take these screws out as well, but that piece fit pretty good. Alright, we've done a little cleanup here, and I've got this cardboard template basically for repairing this hole. Basically, I got my cutout because there's a notch, and everything fits right where I kind of want it. Obviously, I need to bring it over, another couple inches out of there and up right there. So that's what I'm kind of working on right now. I'm going to take this and use it as my baseline and go put it on the sheet metal and cut it out. Alright, I didn't record myself doing it, but I went ahead and cut out my cardboard template and put it on the metal. Put about 1.5 inches to 2 inches more on the outside, and when we put it in here, voila. Now it's going to need a little hammering and stuff to, kind of contour, but you know, we're gonna go ahead and come in here and clean up this metal and get it prepped for being able to weld this in. So that's what I'm about to do. All right, welded it in and then hit it with some Rust-Oleum. Next comes seam sealer and then another coat. But at least we got it solid. It's in there nice and solid now, so we're not going to have a bunch of holes and water getting into the interior. Hey, thanks everybody for tuning into this week's episode. We got a lot done. We got the floor sealed up with the seam sealer. We got our patchwork done on the wheel well, and everything kind of to seal up the interior and really get things where we want it to be. It was a temporary patch in that wheel well, really. You know, it's just one of those things where when you're going to do fenders down the road, I'm sorry, not fenders, but quarters down the road, you know, I don't want to have to undo some of that craziness and just cut all the way through the fender to get those things back out of place. So we'll seal it up and get it all the way it needs to be, and that's what our main goal was with that. So it's sealed up nicely, but we got a lot of work left to do. I think in the next episode we're going to work on the frame rails. Our frame rail's a little bit rotted on the passenger side, so we're going to patch that up. But in the meantime, like, subscribe, comment, tell your friends, and watch some of my other videos. So until later, peace.
I've been dreaming on in my head like I've seen it. A life worth living is a life with meaning. I'll do what I love till my heart stops beating. I'm feeding this demon. Got a taste, can't erase bitterness in my face. Work a job every day till your dreams fade away. Like a card, never change, play the